I'm here to talk about Dragons and Nine Realms and the absolute hate it gets from some people. So wide up, I'm a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon. I love and own all three films. I love the short films even. Bone Napper, Gifts of Night Fury, which is adorable by the way, Dawn of the Dragon Riders, and Homecoming. I watched Riders of Berk, Defenders of Berk, and Race to the Edge. I played and loved the two games that came out along with the first and second film, which the first game was kinda cool being a fighter game where you can create your own Night Fury. Seriously, that's kinda cool, though it was very repetitive. The second was a bad racing game, but you could free roam as Toothless and Hiccup with the theme music playing in the background, and I love just free roaming with them so much. I really love just playing that game. I played Dawn of New Riders, and I plan on playing the new Dragon game based on the Nine Realms Dragons. I also have a ton of figures from the series. My second biggest plus is a Toothless plus, and last of all, I have read and owned every single book in the series. So I say there's no doubt to anyone that I'm a huge fan of the series. I just want to point that out for those who say I'm not a true fan, so my point is invalid about this new series. So why do people hate the Dragons and Nine Realms? There's a few reasons, so let's start with the smaller reasons. 1. The animation. Though I for one don't see any difference between this and the other TV shows before this and feel like people need to chill on that. I have said there's some great locations that look amazing, like Tom's flying scene with thunder looks amazing to me. I do think the problem is locations. It's rather boring compared to Berg with them being limited to where they can go. It's all the same scenery, that I can agree on. But Season 2, they explore deeper into the caves and they get more locations, so I think it's reaching a better point in terms of that. Number 2, Thunder looks weird. A lot go into he looks inbred because his muzzle doesn't look like Toothless. That's because he's a nightlight. You dummies. Look at the Light Fury, she has a more pronounced nose but also a flatter forehead. Jedli has a different facial structure than Toothless, and so do the baby Nightlights. Hence why he looks like a mix of both while also being his own thing. It's simple as that. Now, could it be a little bit better? No, because why care so much? He is a mixed breed. He shouldn't look like Toothless like you so want him to be, or like a Light Fury, because he's not. I myself don't really like the Light Fury's face, but I gotta say it's the worst thing that she's not exactly like Toothless because she ate a Night Fury, just like Thunder isn't. I for one love his design and love his goofy smile. Number 3, the characters suck. Because you're not giving them a chance. Well, sure, you could like or dislike them for sure, but we had multiple movies and TV shows as such to get used to the other characters. These ones just started, so give them a chance. Not to mention, did you really like Snotlout? No, he was annoying and very dislikable. That's kind of the point of his character. He's the same way in the books. He is a very dislikable bully character. But in the books, they at least gave him a huge redemption arc. But in the movies and TV shows, they never did. He was always just the bully. The trends get very annoying watching him be dumb in every single episode. Just saying. Though I love the original characters, they all have problems that make them unlikable too. What is it about these new characters that you find so unlikable? Is it their designs? Because of course they're going to look different because it's all modern times. Speaking of, number 4, the modern day setting, which I can't really talk about without talking about number 5, which leads to the biggest reason they're not Toothless and Hiccup. Well, yeah, duh. Their story is done. That's what some people can't realize and what I can't fathom that people don't understand. Their story is done. There's nothing more to tell there. Yes, you could do a story about an older Hiccup going around in rescuing dragons and getting them to go into the hidden world, or as everyone else wants, Hiccup's kids. So I guess much more older Hiccup and crew, and I guess all their kids, doing the exact same things we already got, I guess. Like again, you could have them going out and fighting dragons and sending them to the hidden world, but then you're going to get the same thing of them taming dragons, bonding with them, and saying goodbye in the end. Because they can't stay around. That's not the point of the show. That's not the point of the series. Dragons cannot return to our world.
There were dragons when I was a boy. Where they went, only a few know. Our story changed the world forever.
There's really not going to be anything amazing about that kind of series. Hiccup has already explored all the islands with his dragons. There's nothing more that can be done there. There's only so far dragons can fly before being burnt out. Not to mention the ending. The ending matters so much more than some realize. So if you have more humans flying around on dragons right after Hiccup's story, then nothing mattered. The ending did not matter. The book ending is pretty much the same, that the dragons disappeared from the world, which you could say is like our world essentially, because humans are not ready for them.
Legend says that when the ground quakes or lava spews from the earth, it's the dragons, letting us know they're still here, waiting for us to figure out how to get along.
We would treat them like slaves and make them do our bidding, making them fight our wars. Our wars, not theirs, ours. Humans would treat them like monsters and not majestic beasts. The dragons are kind of like a metaphor for how shitty humans are and what bad people are capable of with that kind of power. So here's the thing. I know there's a lot of fans out there that hate the ending of the third movie. And I will agree, I'm there too. I did not like the ending. For one, there needed to be a much longer goodbye of all the characters and the dragons. It really needed a lot more time. It was definitely rushed. But yeah, people don't like Toothless and Hiccup splitting off. Again, I am there with you, because they split off because of a woman, essentially. And it's just yeah, how basic. I myself don't really like that whole idea. But obviously it's more so to keep the dragon safe. But here's a thing. If your best friend in the whole wide world had an opportunity to live in a beautiful place, free from hatred and danger, to be there with the one they love, along with living with like-minded people, but it would mean leaving you behind, wouldn't you want that for them though? Toothless doesn't have to fight anymore. He doesn't have to fight. He can have his own family now and live his own life without having to constantly battle humans. You don't see wars between dragons, you see wars between men. The ending isn't the greatest in the movie. It definitely worked better in the book. It definitely needed so much more time in the movie to really get us understanding what was really truly happening. But it was an ending, and then we got Homecoming that gave us life after dragons, and Hiccup is still leading Berk. Everyone's happy and doing well. There hasn't been any more fighting after because there's no more dragons to use as war machines, essentially. There hasn't been any more fighting after whatever so years have passed, so in other words, the days of dragons have passed. Yes, Hiccup does see Toothless with his and their kids later, but that's just meant to be like a sweet little happy moment is all. It's meant to be like a nice little happy ending to what is essentially a sad ending. But they can still see each other because Berk will keep the secret of the hidden world.
Yes, the world believes the dragons are gone, if they ever existed at all. But we Berkians, we know otherwise. And we'll guard the secret until the time comes when dragons can return in peace.
So now you cut to years later and this hidden world has opened up for humans to find. But luckily, the kids, aka the innocents of the world, found the dragons first, and don't want to tell the parents because they know they will want to use them. Hell, it's showing the boss of the company the parents are working for is a horrendous person who doesn't care for anyone but the company, showing nothing has changed. Humans are humans. You get a lot of bad eggs who are nothing but greedy. There's still evil people out there, and if she got hold of a dragon, she would try to rule the world. Second season introduced Buzzsaw, who mistakenly thinks a dragon caused this huge fire that destroyed his worksite and business, but in reality, it was human error. So already putting blame on dragons for a fire that he started, that he doesn't even realize he started. The reason why the modern day show is happening is because it's the only way to really continue the series without really making the ending seem pointless. Dragons are not supposed to be in our world anymore because of people like Buzzsaw and the boss of the company. You really have to kind of think about it like a real life situation of these majestic creatures and how people would use them. That's the point of it all.
Our world doesn't deserve you. Yet.
Hell, in the books, there's dragons that go up into space and become shooting stars. Those people like Buzzsaw and the boss still exist in our world, and this show is showing it while still being a How to Train Dragon show. A bunch of kids fighting dragons, befriending them, finding other dragons in each new episode, and dealing with them and learning from them. Discovering new locations, and in this case, discovering the mystery of the dragon mark, and Tom discovering where his family truly comes from. Which, yes, we all know he's a haddock, but I'm kind of glad we're doing this mystery behind it all, giving it just like a little bit more substance to the show. But yes, another thing, this whole idea that dragons exist below us in this hidden world, well, surely a big thing like a meteor coming down and whipping open Earth would lead us to maybe finding them. So the idea of this show to me works as a continuation. Again, people generally hate this show because it's not Hiccup's kids. But why would it be? It would end up being the exact same show with the exact same kind of characters we already got in other shows. How about talking about Rescue Riders, how different that is with like the kids being able to talk to dragons, which is accurate in the books, I will say that, it is in the books, that Hiccup can talk to dragons at least, but it's never been a thing in the show or the movies or anything like that.
That's my third blast, I'm out! What are we gonna do? Coming
What? The spin out?
But oh, that's okay because it's not part of the canon? But why can't it be? Why isn't it? Why does Dragon's Night of Realm have to exist in your canon? You can make up whatever you want in the canon, really. That's all up to you. I mean, a TV show canon is a bit of a mess anyway, with characters never appearing in the movies or even mentioned. There's a legit dragon graveyard where all dragons go to die, but yet the idea of the Guardian Dragons, they're leaving it to go to the hidden world, just doesn't work. It would never happen in this canon. So the canon idea that dragons all have this place that they go off to die doesn't work. Now the true question is it a good show? Well, that's obviously subjective. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. That's perfectly fine. But does it deserve 1 star? That's what this argument of what I'm doing is. Does it deserve 1 star out of 5, which I do occasionally see? God no. God no, it does not. There's much worse stuff out there. When I see 1 star on this show, I instantly go, you're just a bitter, angry fan that we are getting more Hiccup and Astrid and the kids. Which again, what else can they do? I understand there's a lot of fans of Hiccup and Astrid and just want to see more of those characters because, oh, this is like a cute little couple and all that. But no, we're not going to get any more of it because their story's done. And then one of the other arguments is this is a cash grab. And just saying this is a cash grab is false. It's on a kids streaming service I'm sure people already own. If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. Plus, it's not like they're releasing it once a week. No, full seasons on day 1. So it's not like you need to keep that service for weeks and each episode comes in. Plus, there's no merch whatsoever. I know. I looked. I want a plush or figure of Thunder so badly, but there's nothing compared to like what Disney does all the time, releasing merch of their products before the TV show even comes out. I saw so much stuff of Obi-Wan before the show even came out, and it's not even getting amazing reviews, so that's kind of hilarious to me. The most amount of merch is a game coming out, yes. That is obviously cheaply made. I'm still going to buy it because that's how I do. But that is like the only thing that you could consider merch. The only thing that they could profit off of. So the idea of it being a cash grab is like, no, this is obviously made with some passion, some heart. Hell, they're still pushing merch of normal How to Train Your Dragon stuff. So if this show is helping to push that merch, are you really gonna complain? That's honestly something about the Lion King remake that I truly loved, is that they brought out merch of the original movie because they knew they could sell this. making it seem like that was like part of their plan, is that they could sell more of this merch. So my question for all of you watching is, why do you hate this show? When I watch this, it makes me feel happy. It gives me the same vibes, the same emotions other How to Train Your Dragon stuff does. Yes, Tom and Thunder are Hiccup and Toothless, and it's sad to think they're gone from this world, but they live on through this show. Tom and Thunder's bond is just as special. Their friendship gives me the same feelings they did, and I love watching these two. All the characters and settings are new and different than what we have experienced before, and that is scary. but they're going on their own journeys with the same passion and love Hiccup and Toothless had for adventure, so why can't you enjoy these adventures with them? You don't have to like the show, but saying there's no heart or passion in this show hurts my very soul, because I can see it in what I'm watching. I know it's sad they're not continuing with what we grew up with and love, but they will never go away. Their story has come to an end, but the world of dragons isn't over yet. Let me know in the comments, and please do like this video, or hell, you can dislike it, that's fine. It still adds to the algorithm. Please do one or the either, it's perfectly fine. And why not, subscribe to my channel, because I'll love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.